Hello everyone, welcome back to Nabawa Vibes. Thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed. Thank you to those who have been sharing. Thank you to those who have been giving me feedbacks. Yes. Feedbacks have been of immense help. Actually, it's a feedback that is bringing today's topic. Yes. I noticed from my last topic that someone actually, maybe one or two persons, probably only one of them spoke to me, obviously, mistook something I said when I mentioned misplacing my debit card last year. Yeah, the person assumed that I meant once your PIN is not with anybody, forget about it. Your card is safe or your account is safe. No, that's not what I meant. I was making reference to not panicking. That was the idea. In the short period of time with which I misplaced the card and blocked the card, I did not panic. That was the idea, okay? So, today we are going to talk about debit card security. Now, we all know what debit cards are. Those are our cards, we call them here sometimes ATM card or debit card, okay? Something like this that we slot into ATMs or POS machines, or we use it also for online trading, online banking, sorry. We use it to buy and sell online, to buy. Okay, so many of us have become very used to it. For someone like me, I've always said that things like this were brought because of me. Since these came into being, I hardly go into the banking hall. I only go into the banking hall when I do not have a choice. Yes, I like to shop online. I like to do a lot of things online. I rather transfer money than have cash. Okay, so yes, this has been of immense help to me. I don't have to go to the bank to queue. I don't have to be going to look out for going to check my account or look for statements in the banking hall. So yes, these have been so very wonderful. But as wonderful as this is, it can also be a problem for us if we do not do the right thing. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about right now is how to keep these things secure. Okay, so one of the ways we're going to do that is to start by explaining certain things to us. There are some features that are on your card. There are some features that are on your debit card that are very important. They are all part of the security measure of the card. Now I'm going to explain what they are. Number one, or rather I'm going to call them. Number one is your PIN. Yes, your PIN is not on your card, but it's attached to your card. Yes, by PIN, I mean your personal identification number, okay? Very, very important. It is there for a reason. It is for you alone to know, so no one else knows it. So when someone does not have access to it, the person's access to your card, even if they have the card, is limited. Okay, then there's the CVV. You know, that little three-digit number that appears at the back of your card, huh? Yes, that's your CVV. It stands for card verification value. Okay, then there's this thing that most banks do. It's mostly on your banking app, but it's still, you know, your banking apps are all attached to your card in one way or the other. The daily limit with which you can transfer money from your account. So that daily limit thing is also a security feature. Then the fact that you can block the card is another feature. Yes, you can easily block your card. Once you notice any discrepancy, the next thing you do, you should have your bank account, your bank whatever it is your bank uses, whether the USSD code, whatever, so that you can block it immediately you feel is possible to do so. Then another security feature, I'm very sure whenever you're opening your account, you are told this: your PIN and your card must not be together. Yes, some people think so they won't forget them, they just put the number of their PIN on their card. No, that's very, very wrong. You don't put your PIN and your card anywhere close to each other. So those are the basic security features that come with your debit card. Now, a lot of fraud, a lot of things take place with debit cards. Yes, I've heard the situation of the commonest nowadays. People now here in Nigeria, a lot of people feel going to people who provide POS services, you know, POS points, to get cash rather than going to ATMs. Now, many a times, most of these ATMs have queues, or sometimes they don't even have money. Yes, that's usually the issue. So some people feel instead of trekking down to the bank's ATM, because mostly it's banks, you hardly get ATMs in other places apart from banks. Instead of trekking that far, let me just go to the nearest, the closest POS seller here, or POS dealer here, so that I can just pick this money and get out. Okay, many people do that. I don't like it, so I don't do it. The only time I've had to do it was when I was in an emergency. It's not something I appreciate, but we've heard a lot of stories about such things. You go to such a POS dealer and you slot in your card. Of course, sometimes we can be very careless. I, for one, I am careless with my card. Once I'm giving you my card to use on the POS, I actually face something else, which is dangerous and wrong. You're supposed to keep an eye on the person as the person is working. Now, some of these people, where they are, they can clone your card. Some of them have some features, some of them have cameras or something around. So you need to be careful when dealing with such people. I've heard so many stories after such issues. By the time you leave that POS point, the next few minutes you hear all manner of things, monies you have been leaving your account steadily and all that. So we're going to look at some of the steps that we need to take in order to secure our debit cards. Okay? So number one, if you get any messages, supposedly from your bank, whatever the message is, asking you to call anything that is on this card, please don't. Yes, I repeat, if anybody calls you or sends you a message and asks you to give any of the details on this card, please do yourself a favor and do not try it. Cut that call and call your bank or go to your bank, okay? Because someone is trying to hack into your account. Now, I don't mean that you should now start getting scared and because of that you're trying to make a purchase. You're on a trusted site, you're trying to make a purchase. These same things will be asked. You are supposed to give it to them unless you don't want to shop in those places. But it has to be secure ones, okay? So I'm not saying be afraid I'm saying when someone calls you or sends you a message, you don't know who the person is, you've not had any transaction with the person, all of a sudden somebody is calling you and telling you, I need some details from your card. Please drop that call immediately and get in touch with your bank. You should even have your account officer's number so you can get in touch with them, or the customer care line of the bank. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, be protective of these information. Everything you see on this card, be protective of them. You have your last some important details. Let me mention that first. There are some very vital details on this card that you need to hold very dearly. The last 4 digits of your card, this I think that's 16 numbers. The last 4, be careful. Your expiry dates, yes, be careful. Your CVV, be careful. Then there are some banks that actually use signature. You have to sign on it. They used to do that here. I don't know. I think they stopped it. Such things, be very careful with them. Such things should not be in public view. Once it gets into people's hands, it can cause a lot of problems for you. Now, let me explain something a friend of mine does. You may find it useful. What he does is once he picks up his debit card, he removes every number. He scrapes off every number after he has written it out. Don't forget that part. These numbers are very important. All these things are very important to you when you want to do online banking. Yes, when you want to do anything online, they are very important to you. So what you need to do is you copy them out. The full 16-digit number, the expiry date, and your CVV. Copy them out and keep them somewhere safe where you can easily get access to them, okay? Then scrape them off. Especially if you're the type that can be careless with your card, scrape them off. Now, if these things I've mentioned are not in your card, anybody that sees your card will walk past it because it will be useless to them, okay? So please, that's one thing I would like for us to take seriously, okay? Of course, this cannot be overemphasized. Do not share your PIN with anyone. Your PIN is not for public consumption, it's for you. In short, whenever you want to put a PIN for your card, let it be something you can easily remember, so you don't have to write it anywhere. Okay? Funny enough, if you forget it, the process of retrieving it is quite easy. Yes, you can easily change your card, your PIN. It's actually easy. They've made things easy. Okay, or you even walk into the bank and they'll do it for you. But the important thing is, do not be sharing your pins with people. And if for any reason, well, we are human, sometimes we don't want to go to that place, we just want to send a fellow colleague or someone, oh please, your daughter, your son, your staff, oh please just let me collect money. That once, please, the next time you have access, change your PIN. Yes, very important. Okay, number 4, do not respond to suspicious emails or text messages or even phone calls. Of course, this is also related to the first one. Okay, do not respond to any such things asking you for your debit cards online. Number 5, destroy all debit cards properly. If this debit card, if it has expired, destroy it. One of the best ways, that's why I buy that idea of scraping up everything. If nothing is on the card is actually useless to the person. It is the details in the card and the chip that will be important to you, and you continue, okay? But these details here, if you scrape them off, the card will still work on whatever ATM you put it. Do you understand me? So please, destroy every old debit card properly. Now, I got this one. I've not heard about this one before. It had not occurred to me. But avoid having hard copies of your statement of accounts. Yes. Today, things are very easy. You want your statement of accounts, you can get it at the tip of your fingers. You get it on your phone. You get it on your device. You don't need hard copy. Stop going to the bank to get hard copies of your statements. No, it's not good for it to be out there. Let it be on your phone. If you are tired, you remove it. You don't have to tear it and be looking for how to dispose of it. Okay. Number 7, I know a lot of people don't see it as important, especially since debit alerts, SMS debit alerts are charged, so they don't want any money at all. But I want to plead with you, always make sure you have alerts. Don't only rely on email. Yes, it's good you can rely only on emails, but remember the kind of country we live in. Our networks are not so good. Sometimes the email alert will not come on time. So if your account has been tampered with, you will not notice it on time because you are waiting on your email. Okay? But with text message, you will get to know when somebody has tampered with your account immediately before the thing goes to. You know, sometimes I cannot take so much at the same time. They'll be doing it little by little. So when it's done little by little, you get the first alert and you realize that I am not the one who did this. It will be easy for you to quickly block the account before further damage is done. Okay? Then I want to plead with us. Let us try as much as possible. I understand sometimes we are tired. We just want to do this thing quickly. We're in a hurry. So let's just use that POS. Just give me your POS. Let me just get money from this POS. Oh, let me just go to this ATM that is by ShopRite. Yes, that is in the mall. You know, things like that. But I want to advise, as much as you can, use the ATM of banks. Go to bank ATMs to get your money, to get your cash. Yes, the banks ATMs are better than any other. They are more secure. That's the point. They are more secure. How much security do you have on those ATMs that are in other places that are not banks? Okay, so please let us try our best. Okay, then if you must use POS, if you use these POS providers, please use trusted ones. Use the ones you can relate to. That's your neighbor, that one that is close to you, that you know that this is his family, this is her family, this is her business. She doesn't have anywhere to go. Her children are here. Do you get my point? Oh, I know the wife. He will not run away. You know that kind of thing. Use such people. Don't just be walking on the streets and you just need money. You just walk up to the nearest POS provider. Please, let's be very careful about such. Then, I want to advise for those of you who have apps that use your fingerprints, and that's your banking apps that use your fingerprint and your maybe facial recognition, please try as much as possible to activate them. Now, please, I would say do more of your fingerprints. Avoid the facial recognition for those of you who use heavy makeup. Yes, so you don't fall into the trap of your phone not recognizing your bank app, not recognizing your face because you have done something different. Maybe the day you were activating it, you were well made up, you were looking all funky. Then the day you are in an emergency and you need to use it, your face is very plain and the phone will not be able to recognize it. So please, if you know you're the type that changes his or her looks all the time, please focus more on your fingerprints. Okay, better. That way it can save you a lot of of course you must have a code, you must have a PIN code, there's no two way about it, but you cannot always use it in public places. For instance, you start typing, maybe you're in a crowded place, you're trying to do something, sit quietly and you are typing your PIN. There are people around you, they can see it, or your password. The best thing then is just use your fingerprint. Okay, then finally, do not use your debit cards on unsecure sites. Yes, be very careful. When you're not sure of the site you're using it on, please do not use it. You want to buy things, you want to do certain things, please be very careful. It's not everywhere you go to, it's not every site you must use. There are some sites that are very secure that we can use for such purchases. Okay? Now, before I go, I'd like to just go through something I picked off from MasterCard websites. Simple, three basic things. That the first one said be informed, the second one says be vigilant, and the third, get educated. Very simple. These have to do with your debit card. So let's see. Be informed. I've talked about it before. You should know that. Be informed that nobody has the right to call you to ask for your details, for your card details. Okay, so be informed about that. And once such things happen, remember, I'm just repeating it, but I'm using this particular one for it. Remember, call your bank so that they can check for you. Number 2, be vigilant. Now, this is something I did not mention deliberately, but I still would like us to take it very seriously. Be vigilant. Monitor your accounts. That's part of the reason why I said have an SMS alert for your accounts. Yes, be vigilant. Check your accounts periodically. With SMS alert, you will always know if there's an issue or not. Then finally, get educated. There are so many things we can do to prevent fraud, and that's what I've done. Actually, I've given us so many things that we can use to help us stay away from fraudsters and hackers, okay, and keep our accounts secure. So yes, thank you very much. I think I've finally come to the end. So yes, if this has been of use to you, please let me know. I really do love the feedbacks. They are very wonderful for me. And if it has been helpful, please share. Is very important so that everybody out there will have these information. Now, the truth of the matter is that this information are everywhere, but I've come to realize that we don't like reading. Yes, in this part of the world where I come from, we avoid reading. Anything that will make us not to read, we'd rather watch and laugh and play. So maybe that is why I'm using a video instead to tell you about these things instead of writing them. So please, let us do well to secure our debit cards. When our debit cards are secured, our accounts are secured. Of course, there are other ways that our accounts can be tampered with without our debit card. Don't forget that, so that nobody will misunderstand me. But we are talking about the debit card, which is presently the easiest way for your accounts to be hacked, but also the easiest way or the hardest way too. If you do the right thing, they will not be able to do anything to your account. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, And as usual, do have a lovely day. And remember, share, subscribe. For those of you who have not subscribed yet, give me thumbs up. And thank you again.